Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Simply Colorful FiberCast. Today's date is November 3rd, 2017. My name is Lynn Marquidant, and I'm your host. So welcome. We have an hour of sewing together. So grab a project and let's see what we can get accomplished in 60 minutes. Welcome. Today we're going to work on our Dear Jane blocks, and we're also going to get caught up on the week's events. Also going to tell you about the machine quilting division and how we're feeling more legitimate every day. And then for the last 10 minutes, we're going to sew the other pillowcase. We're going to try the burrito again. So for anyone who may have seen the episode a few weeks ago with Jean Birchman, where I just wasn't burritoing very well, I'm going to give it a try again. And if you want to hang out and see if I can make it happen, at 10 minutes to the hour, we will give that a go. So, but between now and then, we have a lot of Dear Jane to do. I said I would be done with the B row, and I'm not quite done. In fact, I'm a bit far from being done. I did 2 blocks this week. So I hope you can see those. And I should know off the top of my head what number they are. Hang on, I'm getting my book. Clunk. I have printed out all of the remaining patterns for the first half, so A through F. And I am bringing these with me next week on the retreat. So if anyone is doing Dear Jane, pull out your book and show us what you're working on. This one is B2, Sweet Tater Pie. And this one is B3, Mirror Image. And I discovered a trick that I'm liking, and I'm actually going to do more in preparation for my plane trip out to Missouri next week, is for these, so these were both hand appliqued on top. They weren't anything more than that. And what I've done is I've pulled out a piece of my background, my white, and I've drawn squares on it. And I'm going to do the remaining B blocks on here on the plane. So one of them's reverse applique. I'll tell you which one that is, and then we'll get into sewing. But I didn't finish it, but I wanted to show you what I had done so far. These things take so long. Okay, so B7 is World Series. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm doing it reverse, and I'm appliquing, instead of the white there, it will be greens. So I'll have greens, and I've drawn a square. The B8 water lily that there is red, I'm doing reverse applique with this blue on the back, blue batik. So I have to cut that out and then reverse applique it. And then the final one is Tinker Toy B9, and I've cut out my pieces out of blue, and I tried to put them together before we went live, and I thought English paper piecing probably would be the best, most accurate approach to this one. So I may cut out some cardstock paper pieces, English paper pieces of these 4. For more precision, and then applique it onto my white. So I don't know if anyone else has done that, but I was pretty tickled with myself to think of this, because at first when I started one of these, I was dealing with a little piece of my white fabric, and I was just having a hard time using it. So I figured I'm going to try doing this on all of my applique ones and see if I can crank along a little faster. So that's that. What I wanted to do is I have also cut out 1-inch pieces to put on 2 sides of each of these squares, and I'm going to start to form the row. So you might see behind me is my A row, and in between each block and then in between each row, there's a 1/2 inch sashing. So given I use a 1/4 inch foot here, again, that's why I've cut out my 1-inch pieces. So I just wanted to do this, and then I am going to make my next C row, because all of those, the remaining B ones are applique, So as soon as I put sashings on these, I'm going to do the C3 Rael's Fence, if anyone wants to follow along. So that's what I'll be doing after I put the sashing on. So if anyone's out there and you want to show us pictures of what you're working on, we always would love to see it. Send it to lynn@simplycolorful.com. I finally have that set up so that if you send email there, I will get it on my phone. You can also text me, like always, at, or email me at lmarquidant@gmail.com. Let me get my iron ready. My goodness, it was a busy work week. I don't know about you all. Busy work week. It seems as though people want to get ready before Thanksgiving. And then, of course, Halloween was pretty exciting. Here's a reverse applique one. Remember this one? It's on the back. It's all blue. In fact, I should cut that out. B12. Do I want all of that? No. No, I'm going to leave it. Oh, and did everyone see the videos that were coming out from Aurifil, from Quilt Week, from the week in Houston, Quilt Market? Those were fun to see, weren't they? The designers there are amazing. So I'm just chain piecing all of my bees together so that I have sashing on two sides. See this? So there's that. I have my scissors this week. Here. Oh, what is it about the sound of scissors? Guess who did not go to Joann Fabrics all week? And I didn't even have the flu. Oh, who's there? Hello, Jean. Oh, Jean says, was this the longest week or what? It definitely was. She says, I'm so happy it's Friday at 8 p.m. She says, I'm putting borders on a client quilt, listening to you, and hang on, I have to open. Oh, she's putting borders on a client quilt, listening to me and Jane and our budding relationship. That's cute. I am. You do get very attached to these blocks. I'm glad you're out there. Enjoy your hour. Enjoy your borders. You deserve it. You worked hard this week. Okay, so I've got this and this and this. We're going to sew some of them together. Don't you love that one? We showed that one last week. Let's see. So Jane. Oh, and we also have a poem from Aunt Jane up in Vermont, too. Jane Stickle. How many times and how many years have I done that? That's why you've got to stick around for, and I still don't know Jane's last name. So that's why you have to stick around for the burrito pillowcase, because it's a 50-50 shot that I'm going to remember how to do that. Anyway, Jane Stickle, who created this quilt in 1863, is from Vermont. Similarly, I have an aunt, Jane. My sister and I have an aunt, Jane, up in Vermont, who is a poet. And we've read her poems before, and she sent another very short one that I will also want to share with you. Okay, so we're just again, you can tell by my approach, I guess I am not a precision quilter. That's okay. I'm okay with it. Don't you think as long as you're okay with it, you do whatever you want. Sorry to turn my back on you. What are you all working on? Oh, isn't that pretty? I'm pretty proud of that one. That one. Dear Jane, what was it like to be waiting for your soldier husband to come back from war? Okay, so those are all pressed. We'll do this one. We won't put the full row together, but we'll get some of it done. And then I'm just going to go down the right-hand side of all of them with another sashing. Several of you wrote in and said you had a lot of trick-or-treaters. I'm curious how that went. In fact, Deb, if you're out there, I cannot believe you had so many, what was it, 250 trick-or-treaters? My friend down in Connecticut ran out of 750 pieces of candy, I think I saw. It's a good year for trick-or-treats. And then we had none. All I can attribute it to is that we're not in a neighborhood, which I understand, and it's a dark road. I mean, why would you come here and go a long distance between houses to get a measly little kids candy bar when you could go to a condo complex or a densely populated neighborhood and just run from house to house? I get it. It's the economics of it. The economic utility of it. Okay. Oh, and my heart goes out to people in New York City. I was thinking, I woke up in the middle of the night, which I'm starting to do again. And just because of work, nothing more than that, I'm sure. Or who knows, the full moon, or it just happens periodically. But I was thinking all the things that have happened this fall between the hurricanes, Harvey, Irma, Marie. Irma, did I just mention Irma? And then what happened in Las Vegas and what happened in New York City. It's just, don't know why people, time is just so limited around here. Okay, so now I am cutting this, my second piece of sashing, and then I'll put them together, and then I'll do my C8. Oh, no, then I'm going to check and see who's out there. So again, send email to lynn@simplycolorful.com. And I'll show pictures of what you're working on. I have my big iPad here. Oh, and I can show you pictures of a few quilts that we finished this week, including 2 that I sent out today to Christina Stromberg, actually to your daughter, Suzanne, and also one out to Woodbridge, California. I sent Leah's brown bag mystery quilt is done, and it is amazing. Oh, ding. Hey, KB. Hi, KB. My sister's out there. She says, good to see you. You too, virtually. I'm sewing up some tiny little 9 patches tonight. Not sure what they will become. Just practicing. Oh, what are you practicing for? Not sure what they'll become. Just practicing for next week. You're going to Quilt Mecca. Your skills better be in top-notch shape. That's funny. I was very pleased to see that we have sewing machines for next week. It's so ironic. You sent a note out to, so for everyone who might not be following along, which we would understand if you're new, a group of us are heading out to Hamilton next week to the Missouri Star Quilt Company. They're having a Wild West retreat. And KB, my sister, who's in Pennsylvania, remembered to check to see if we had ordered machines with us, because carrying a machine all the way out there would be heavy and not fun. Okay, so in true Jane Frugal style, I've run out of long pieces, and so I'm going to piece together 2 of these. So anyway, when we go out there, I mean, you've heard me talk about this before, there are many stores and many quilters and Jenny Doan, of course, and it's so funny that my sister is practicing up her piecing skills. Okay. Well, so we all have our ways of getting prepared, KB. So while you're practicing, I made sure to go get a pedicure so I have pretty toenails for the trip. I hope people are laughing about that. I kid you not. Okay. So we're almost done with what we can on this one. There's one. Put it on my nice board that Leah made for me. And then that, to get these in the right order. Jean just sent another message. What'd she say? I think I saw. Kudos to the quilting division, she says, on my beautiful mystery quilts. I love them. Oh, I'm so glad you do. Oh, they were fun to do. All of them are. In fact, let's see if I can pull those up. I hope you laughed when I referred to the folks in the quilting division. I live in my own little creative head here. Okay. Nope, that's not what I wanted. So I want to look at photos, and I want to show quilts that you all have Okay, so it does have to load. Did I show everyone this one? And actually, I posted them, so I won't do these for too long. But this was Jean's scrappy quilt. There it is up close, the daisy quilting. Love that. If you see a quilting pattern out there on the internet that you would like, feel free when you send me your quilt to suggest that. I'm happy to go buy patterns, or we'll figure out how to source it. Maybe share the expense of buying a pattern, whatever that would be. This is the dragonfly pattern that we did on the back of Christina's quilt. That's the quilt from a distance. That's not very interesting. Okay, here's another one of Jean's scrappy square dances. There it is laid out. Okay. KB, so this is such a random shot. Bob and I were shopping the other day and we saw something. I meant to send this to you. Does this remind you of sandwiches that Mom used to make us? They still sell this. Deviled ham spread. That was a treat. That was a big day. Okay, and then did everyone see this? I think it's a color wheel design or Jean's design that Joyce made. And it has all the food. And we just did a simple meander. Don't you love those bagels? And then this one, oh, a jelly roll race of, it's another one of Kaif fabrics. Definitely want to do one of those in my future. I have Karen's here. KB, I'm going to bring your quilts with me if you want. They don't weigh too much. You could carry them home if you wanted. So, oh, there it is, another view. So we've been busy, and then we set out to do a brown bag mystery quilt. There it is laid out. That is Leah's brown bag mystery quilt before the process. And we've been loading it and working on it. And let me just pull up the end result. I don't know if you can see that, but that is all quilted. That's an amazing quilt. So Leah, thank you for the opportunity. That was just so much fun. Oh, so much to do, so little time. KB. Oh, Karen's reply to the deviled ham was, oh, wow, deviled ham, yum. Only thing better is Spam salad. That's true, with pickles, Spam crunched up with pickles. I love that. And she says, and by the way, can you say sodium? All in capitals, I know. Okay, let me keep ironing these. Then I'm going to check email and see who's out there. There's another one. There's one. There's one. Can you hear the band downstairs? They're finally back. They've been away for many weeks. There's one. And then here's the last one. There's that one. Okay, so what we need to do is, let's put this, maybe I'll tell you about that later. Remind me to tell you about the post office and postage. Okay. There we go. Here's my master plan here. So this is the first one. Okay, so it's going to go like that. Okay. Now, what's the likelihood that we'll get this right? There's one. There's the second one. So 1, 2, that's pretty together, the yellow and the blue. Then you can follow along if you have your Dear Jane book. 1, 2, 3. Oh, these are a little matchy-matchy. That's too bad. 4. Let's do those 4 together. Ooh, this needs to be trimmed. I had to laugh when I did the pillowcase behind me. I sewed the whole burrito without any thread. And I thought to myself, this pillowcase just does not want to get made. That's the one, if you remember a few weeks ago when I tried to sew it, I ended up with blown out seams. And so I had to take it down one night and tear it all out. I take it down one night, I mean, bring it down and watch TV with Bob. There's 1, 2. Now we'll put this together. That. 3. Do this. TGIF. Okay, so there are 4. Should be. Go. Now what's next? Okay, there's that. Now we have this one, which was done early on, the clouds. Hot cross buns. Doesn't have a date on it. Okay, so there's that. And then B6 is our wild goose chase. Okay, then B7, B8, and B9 are what I'm still working on. So let's get these sewn on. All kidding aside, pillowcases make wonderful Christmas presents. Oh, that's not working. Okay. Okay, there's one part of B. I'm going to hang it up. Yay, Jane! Oh. There we go. Let's put this here. Okay. Now we have 3 that I haven't done yet. And then let's pick this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So B10 is Jude's Trophy, Judd's Trophy. There's that one. And then this is B11, Melissa's Cross. B12. Make sure I get the sashing. And B13. All right, so let's do those 4. Now I promise I'm going to check to see who's out there. So, oh, excuse me. So I am one step closer to being a legitimate. The quilting division is one step closer to being a legitimate franchise. And by that I mean we have signed up and created ourselves a Click It and Ship account through the U.S. Postal Service. My sister KB has been telling me about it for years. She and TG Bob have used it for years. And I finally have signed up and ordered a shipping scale. So hopefully your quilt won't weigh more than 330 pounds. I can ship it to you if it's anything under 330 pounds. So I'm very excited about that because, and I'll tell you what finally made me crack and figure it out, learn how to do it, is really because I don't like going to the post office. I don't like standing in line. I don't like the time it takes. I don't like driving down through traffic, yada, yada, yada. And I had a situation where a customer had Click It and Ship on their end, and they wanted to create a label and send it to me through email so I could just affix it to the quilt, to the box in the quilt, and send it along. Well, of course, I didn't have a scale here. So I had to drive down to the post office, have it weighed, come back here, email the customer with the size and the cost. I neglected to get the weight after all that, so I had to go down again and then go down again, come back, get the email label, and then drop it off again to the post office. I dropped it off today, Christina and Suzanne. So anyway, that was one. So my customer taught me, made me go that, figure it out. Then I had Leah's quilt, which is the brown bag mystery, to send to California. Now it cost $40 some odd to send it here originally. I packed it up in the very same box and I brought it to one post office this morning, and they claimed that the box was oversized and it was going to cost $60 to send. And I did, and so I looked at the pricing, and if it cost $60, it cost $60, but it didn't. I ended up taking it to another post office that didn't call the box oversized and sent it for $38. Another reason why I know it's the cost is the cost. Yay! That's kind of pretty. Okay, the cost is the cost, but at least now I can figure it out a little bit more on my own, and then just pop it out front and the post office will pick it up. Okay, so that's Dear Jane. Oh, that's right, we were gonna make C. But first I wanna see who's out there. So here we're going to make C3 Rael's fence. And I'm gonna make it in this bright green. I thought that would be pretty. Leah, I liked your quilt so well. I made it my screensaver for a while. Okay. Click, click. Okay, let's go to the top. Oh, Wendy down under. Hello. Wendy says, hello, Lynn and everyone. Another week of not watching FiberCast and missing it very much. We are still adventuring with the van. Oh, how exciting. Wendy is on her caravan with her husband. She says, I haven't managed to get much sewing done, but collected some nice fabrics along the way, she says. Hope you and Bob and your family and everyone out there is well and happy. Have a great weekend, Lynn, from the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, Australia. And she puts lots of emojis. Aw, thank you. Have fun. And everyone on this over here is doing just fine. Bob's doing great. Okay, Chris. Wow, someone who's as crazy as I am. Chris up in Canada says, more Dear Jane blocks. She says, hi, Lynn. Just watching again tonight. I'm just flying through my blocks. It's very addictive, she says. Row K is now done. 2 more to go, then on to the triangles and corners. There's still a lot to do on this quilt. I don't remember if I mentioned, but I'm keeping track of how long each block took. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. An average of 2 hours, she's saying, per block. She says, I have a total of over 265 hours into this quilt so far. Oh, that's so cool, Chris. Anyway, she says, you have a great weekend. Oh, and now we have snow. The first snowfall was on Halloween. Happy quilting. Oh, to you too. Look at this. Oh, I'm so glad to know you're up in Canada bonding with Jane too. Building that relationship. Leah says, hi, Lynn and Fibercasters. I'm so looking forward to receiving the finished quilt. Your quilting is beautiful. Thank you. She says, tonight I'm watching and on my Dear Jane software, adding my finished blocks to the layout page. Ooh, very nice. Ooh, happy Friday. Happy Friday. And Leah, don't be alarmed when you see the box, by the way. I thought after I left that Westboro post office, it's a handwritten label, number one, and they put priority tape all over the box, and it looks haphazard, so don't be alarmed. Inside, it's not as haphazard. Okay. Ding! Hey, look who's back from California. Hello, Maureen in Pennsylvania. She says, I've been busy. Been so busy, she says, and I'm so jealous of your Missouri adventure. Aw, someday you'll go with us. How's that? Oh, Patty down in Texas. She says, hi, Lynn. I'm just stopping in to say hi. I'm too tired to sew. I've been sewing for Christmas. My granddaughter has 3 18-inch dolls. The only thing she asked for was PJs and robes, and I'm having a great time sewing for my granddolls. I only had one trick-or-treater. So good to just visit. Patty in Texas. Oh, we're glad you're out there. And don't you find doll clothes sometimes take probably not as long as real clothes, but there are a lot of seams. I'm always surprised at how long those take too. But I'm glad you're there. Just relax. Norma Jean, hello. Norma says, hi, Lynn and everyone. I'm working on my brown bag mystery while I watch tonight. Excellent. My grandson loves the blue in it and has asked me a while back if he could have it when I'm done. I told him, yep, you sure can, and I will keep it here, so when you stay the night, it will already be here. Good answer. She says, I keep all my mystery quilts that I do, so my kids and grandkids can have them when I'm gone. I always look forward to mystery time. It makes the cold weather go by faster. Hope you and everyone has a great weekend. Oh, you too, Norma. And I love that idea. And I love that you told him it will be there when he comes over to spend the night. I so remember spending time at my grandmother's. I loved sleeping there. And like I've said before, I have not done one of your quilts. If you want me to machine quilt one of your quilts, I'd be happy to. Okay, let's see. There was something down here I wanted to, oh, Leah, I wanted to share your batik blocks if I could. Where are they? Well, I'll find them. at a later date. There's sewing to be done. I'm so glad everyone's out there. Okay, what have we got here? Oh, and something just dinged, didn't it? Oh, Annie Cabot. Hello, Annie. Annie, whose daughter, Allie, who you've seen here on FiberCast, she plays soccer and hockey, and they're coming down to Marlborough. So I'm going to meet them and watch the hockey game. And she just texted and said they might be late because there's a soccer game in the morning. And then she says, ugh, I need a spreadsheet. I don't know how parents do it these days, but you do. You put a schedule together. I tell you, we still love our whiteboard downstairs, where we write down what we do every day, what we have to do. It just frees your mind. You don't have to think about it. Highly recommend it. Okay. This fabric was used for tablecloths of a bar mitzvah a few years ago. See this? No, I guess there is no faster way. And this is a perfect oh, I'm going to use this. Perfect example of how fabric just keeps on gifting and gifting. We had a box of this green batik, and every time someone asks for fabric donations, we pull out a few pieces and we give it in a few pieces. And it's been years, and there's still some left. I hope it goes with my quilt. It should. It's going to be kind of bright, but that's okay. Oh, Chris in Canada. I'm so glad you're out there. So inspired by what everyone does. And again, aren't we lucky to have a hobby we enjoy doing? I think I would go cuckoo if I didn't have an outlet. Because let's just face it, TV is not as interesting as it used to be. Nor are parties. And I can't afford concerts, or I can't afford going out a lot. But that's okay. It makes when you do go out all that much sweeter. In fact, this weekend, I am taking Bob out for his birthday because I'm going to be away. I'm going to be at Missouri Star quilting my brains out on his birthday. Oh, remember to lower my stitch count. Okay, folks, I'm coming. Get this ready. Oh, Rebecca, if you're out there, Becca. keep on designing your basket blocks. And for everyone out there, we're going to be making a basket quilt come the start of the new year. So if anyone's interested in that, I know Allie down under was thinking about designing a basket block. We would love more designers. So if you have a favorite basket block that you really like to make, send it along to lynn@simplycolorful.com. Or if you have always wanted to design a block, go for it and send it over before, what do we say, the second week of December. And I am going to put more on the Simply Colorful website about it. It's going to be very informal, but it's another quilt along, and it'll be fun to see what everyone's baskets look like. And like Norma says, it gets us through the cold months. And it won't be as challenging. I know that a lot of people are going to do the Bonnie Hunter mystery, which looks really fun. I have to tell you, her designs are pretty darn good. There's that. There's one. So this, we're certainly not going to overlap with that, and this will be in the wintertime. And if you don't make it, you could just follow along and watch. Becca said she's always wanted to do a basket quilt. If you remember, she was a rep for Longberger baskets, which are beautiful. That was another party. Do many of you go to home parties anymore? Whether it's Tupperware or jewelry parties. I went to one of those not even candle, but melted wax parties. It sounds ridiculous, but it's a real thing. And it has all different scents, and it's safer than candles, I think. And they made little things for your bathroom too that you could plug in scent to improve the scent. But basically either a light bulb or, no, it's a light bulb, because a light bulb, you plug it in, a light bulb on top of a container, and you put the little wax pellet on top, and that melts it, and then the aroma goes into the room. So I went to a party for that. That was fun. It was fun. But I haven't been to one of those parties in a while, which is okay. Truth be told, the reason I would go these days would be for the goodies to eat. I don't need to bring another thing into this house. Okay. Kelsey and Jean, we are going to be sure to sign you up for the Missouri Star Quilt Retreat next year. And everyone out there will sign up early and let everyone know which week we're picking. And then let's see how many we can get out there. That'll be fun. Just for fun. How are we doing? Oh, okay. So now comes the time. We have 8 minutes left. We're going to make a pillowcase burrito. And this we can do. And thank goodness we have what Leah sent. So I can quickly just move this away. Move that away. Move everything down here. And I've always wanted to do this. This is like Julia Child. And we'll pull up our materials. This will be the cuff of the pillowcase. This will be the pretty adornment. And this will be the body of the pillowcase. And the fastest way and neatest way to do this is to create what they call a burrito. Now, also, a good way to avoid blowouts is to do a basting stitch, which I'm going to do right now. I hope I have this right, because this will just kill me if I don't. I will lose it. Okay, I think I have it right. So first we baste this on the body. Oh, and we do not need a little stitch, especially because it's a 50% chance we'll be tearing it out. Okay, how many minutes do we have? Ruh-roh, 7 minutes. So far, so good. We're cranking. Don't you love this fabric? Here we go. It's not slipping too much, which is good. Woo, it's making a lot of noise. Pedal to the metal. Okay, so there, we have our accent piece on that. Now, we want to oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to put right side of this down, of the cuff. And then we're going to put the right side of this down, and we're going to again baste it. I just found this was easier. And then we're going to form the burrito. So right now I have all the right sides together. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, hopefully. Go. Now we're going to make a burrito. Okay, so here we have all those pieces together. We're going to take this part, we're going to roll it up tight like the inside of a burrito. And then we're going to take this and fold it over and pin it, and then sew it, and then turn it. I think, by Jove, I think we're doing it. Try, try, try. But first you don't succeed, try again. Okay. I'm sorry, I haven't talked much about the news or anything interesting tonight. News was sad in New York, as we know. Tax cuts would be good. No one could argue with a tax cut, I hope. And let's see. It was 73 degrees here on November 3rd in Boston today. Craziness. Okay, and we are making a burrito. This is a big day. Okay, so now you take your burrito, see this? And we'll go right here. And this is where I take a bigger seam, like 3/8 of an inch. So I can make sure to catch everything. And it probably would be even better with my walking foot. I find that this fabric scooches up a little. But that's okay. We'll just keep pulling it along. Okay. Getting there. Okay. Here is our burrito. Woohoo! Now what we do, hopefully, is we peel back, turn it inside out, just like this. Should be showing you this. You see? See? See. All right. So there is the pillowcase. It has a nice finished seam on the back. And how are we doing? Okay. So what I'm going to do is pull down the finished one behind me and show you the last step, and then we're going to call it a night. So after you do your burrito, like we just did, and you end up with this, then what you're going to do is do that French seam we've talked about, which is first you put it together. First you iron it nice and flat, and then put it wrong sides together and sew a scant 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Then turn it inside out and sew 5/8 of an inch so that when you're done, you end up having a seam that doesn't have any raw edges. And then you have a lovely pillowcase to put your own pillow in or to give away. So we've done Dear Jane, we've done a pillowcase. We are on our way to Missouri Star next week. We won't have FiberCast next Friday because we're going to enjoy the retreat. I may turn it on when I get home, or maybe I'll do an extra one this Saturday or Sunday. It's going to be a mystery. If I don't do it, then I will see you all 2 Fridays from now, and I'll post and let you know, remind you that we won't have it live next Friday. Thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you're all out there. Keep on sewing, keep being creative, and goodbye.